What's up, YouTube? It's Nats Man 72 coming at you from the hashtag to the South on late night shenanigans. Getting on here, ain't been on here a while, been busy. I wanted to just do in my thoughts on the bomb PSA just dropped on the hobby. I think it's going to be twofold on PSA, especially for folks getting back in the hobby like myself, that's been back in the hobby for about a year now, and what to do with grading. What's this mean for folks basically really over 40 years of age, recently getting back in the hobby, learning the process, learning what slabs are. And just to kind of let you know why my voice is a little lower on a whisper mode is my wife is in bed, and I'm not making a wife mad. But as far as the card community goes for 40-year-olds, I would say 40-year-olds and older, it's a learning curve. And that learning curve is getting to know all your terminology. So I'm gonna go ahead and assume that you're at that point. You've been in the hobby, you know what raw cards are, you know what slabs. I'm not going to do all that. But what's it mean for you as a collector with grading cards? Here's an SGC card, auto, Eddie Murray. For all of us 40 or older, we know who this giant is. And it's real surprising me at our age that this man does not get the hobby love. Let's see. Then his teammate, Cal Ripken, this would be a PSA slab. And this would be another teammate, brother Billy, with a BGS slab. And the reason that I took these three is A, they were relatively handy from my display, but all three were different vendor companies for slabs. What's that mean? I'm pro for whenever I think the card looks good in. I prefer SGC slabs. I think they look better. They were priced better. They had greater turnaround. But we all know what happened with SGC, what happened with PSA, and what has happened with Beckett. But we're going to discuss PSA right now. I figured this was coming down the pipe. I'd actually brought it up in some conversations and was told I was crazy, that it wasn't going to happen. But I had said, hey, all these people that's SGC that are pissed, they're going to start studying the PSA because it makes more sense to do the economy PSA. All right. Well, that's what happened. Everybody wore out the economy. 15, 20 bucks a card, whenever. They wore it out. PSA got slammed. PSA has essentially done exactly what SGC has done. SGC has said, either you can wait or you don't wait. If you don't want to wait, you're going to pay a higher premium. PSA just did the same thing. They essentially took that from SGC's playbook because that's the only playbook there is. What's that mean for you as a collector that would want your card slabbed, whether for your PC or for investment purposes or flipping purposes? All right. If you don't have a membership to PSA, you're going to pay a different amount for submissions, and it's pretty high. There's three levels. There's the platinum, the gold, and there is a silver. The platinum and the gold have vouchers, and what you're seeing is where these programs were from anywhere from 6 to 10 or 12 or something, free submission vouchers were given as part of that package deal. The silver is still available. Last year it was $100. Now it's $59. PSA is not throwing that out there, but there is a silver package. You get all the same rates for submissions as the gold and the platinum, but you don't get the vouchers. You get everything else. You get all the services, the pricing breaks, everything. So if you want to be a member of PSA, you can still be one with silver package. Okay. So don't panic. You can still get your rates. They're bumping up the prices. It's demand. They're also doing some robotics stuff that they've said. I'm sure that's going to have to pay for that. But people are panicking about PSA like people panicked about SGC. SGC ain't going nowhere. They're going to get called up. Eventually, all these companies are going to get called up. But I hate saying the term, it's the new norm in the hobby. So just be prepared. It's going to get worse before it gets better. I really don't. It's not. I think it's going to get worse before it gets better. I think the economy rates, I think those rates are gone. If they come back, I'm going to say probably $25 or $30 per card submission with PSA. It would not surprise me if SGC does not do the same. It's not going to surprise me. But with you being back in the hobby, what do? Well, your option is to join the silver package while they still have it, or go to group sub people. There's several amount of them out there. Research them. Whether it's SGC, PSA. I'd still clear a Beckett. I know Beckett. I don't understand this True Gem Mint 9.5 stuff. It's 9.5. It's a 9.5. But anywho, I ain't gonna get into that. But you're gonna have to make a decision on what's best for you in your pocket. And on these groups, they've already started raising their prices. They've had to cancel because their orders weren't in submissions and redoing them. So y'all you're just gonna have to be prepared for that. The hobby is gonna have to take a fundamental shift in the way they do pricing with graded cards. It doesn't matter who the vendor is. These knee-jerk reaction based off of player performance in one game, and then these prices going through the roof and people submitting stuff trying to catch the train. It's not going to work. Everything's going to collapse. But as the collector, your option is this. I would stay with submitters that are doing a submission capped at 50 cards or less, because a submission with 50 card minimum is going to get processed quicker than somebody that's doing a submission of several hundred cards at one time. I would look at that, whoever's doing your PSA or especially PSA, because that's what we're talking about. PSA submissions is doing the looking for group subs that are capping it at 50 that can do multiple submissions within that period. Make sure you're checking on your modern and ultra modern cards and your vintage card prices. Make sure you research this. If this information isn't out there, make sure it's there. Also, you need to make sure, as getting back in here, is that you need to make sure that your cards are in order by the way you list them. Because 9 times out of 10, the person that you're sending this to has got another job. Okay, and they're dependent on you to make sure that your roster of cards is correct and it's in the order. What's going to happen is if it's not in order, the person who places the subscription is charged 5 cents a card at that error. Every card after that error is considered an error out of order, which is incurring a 5 cent charge. Who's going to pay that? Also, with the PSA thing, PSA update, is you need to make sure that you're declaring your value correctly. Don't take a dollar card. Don't take a card that's worth, $99, $80 or less and making it a dollar card for your declared value. Go ahead and declare that card as one that would be graded at the time of grading, because that's what PSA is going to do. So you don't get upcharged. Okay, just some common sense on your submissions. But recapping real quick, you're back in the hobby. You know what your slabs are. Stay away from BGS. It's 5 to 6 months minimum on a 30-day return, 5 to 6 months minimum by their own website. SGC, they're just backed up. Either you're gonna pay the one fee, you can wait, or you can't wait and you're paying $100 a card. All right. If you're gonna, my opinion is, if you're gonna do that and you're wanting to make money off of cards, send it to PSA. But now PSA is broke. So your options is, if you're not a member, either join the silver package with PSA and you get all the same rates as the other two tiers. You just don't get the vouchers for free submissions. Or find a reputable submissions dealer. Do your research, take the time to do it. Don't be throwing money around that you've worked hard to get, but make sure everything's in order when you do it too. But hopefully that helped. I know it's a Reader Digest version, trying to keep these things really short, but yeah, PSA, man, they dropped the bomb. People losing their minds on this stuff, but I'm back, I'm alive. So God bless, stay safe, keep your head up, your eyes up, head on a swivel. Deuces, I'm out.